This video is going to walk through the process of how to set up a WAP, or wireless access point, for the WebLink system. So there's two ways to do this. One is with a utility program that we can provide to you called WAP Set, and the other is to use the WAP Set functionality within WebLink itself. So I'm going to log in here and show you how to set the WAP IP using WebLink. So I'm going to enter as my default lock programmer, and under Device Management you'll see a utility called WAP Set. So click on that. And this is a method to be able to communicate to a wireless access point. Now, if you are direct connected with the wireless access point to your computer where the software is installed, then you have to make sure that your computer is on the same scope as the default IP address set in the wireless access point as it arrives to you. So how you change that is, first of all, let's go down here to the system tray, right click and open the Network and Sharing Center, and then go to Change Adapter Settings. We're going to go to our local area connection, right click and click on Properties. Now we want to go to TCP/IP version 4, click on that and then click on Properties. And you'll see that I have, usually you might find this setting as obtain IP address automatically. I actually had something that said use the following IP address. What we want to do here is put the same IP scope as the wireless access point default so that we can actually communicate with it. So it's going to be 192.168.2. Let's call this 100. And the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and then we can put in a default gateway within the same scope of 192.168.2.1. And we select OK here and close. And what that's done is that has allowed me to communicate directly from my computer to the connected wireless access point. So I'm going to close that. And in the WAP Set utility, you'll see that the IP address that the default is 192.168.2.254. If that's not in that field, please enter that in that field. And then when you click on WAP Communication Check, you'll see that it brings back a successful connection where it shows you the model number, the version, and then the host ID of the wireless access point. Now what we want to do after checking that communication is click on the OK box. And what we want to do is set a new IP address for this particular static IP. And this will go out onto your network. So whatever your IT administrator has provided as the static IP address scope you need to apply, then apply it here. And how we do that is we're going to go to New WAP IP. And we're going to set whatever that new WAP IP is. In my case, I'm going to set it as 192.168.5.27. And you can leave the WAP port as default unless your system administrator changed that. And then we also want to set the gateway as the same scope. So that's 5.1. And now we can click on this button here to set this new WAP IP and the port information. So click on Set, and it comes back and it gives a successful result. So we can now say OK. Now, in order to verify that that has been done, I need to change my IP scope again. So right-click on the network connection, open Network and Sharing Center, click on Change Adapter, right-click on the local area connection like we did before, click on Properties, TCP/IP version 4 and Properties, and we changed it to 192.168.2. We're now going to change it to 5 because that's the scope that we're now going to be on. And we click on Close. So at this point, your local area connection will try to identify and communicate. And once we see that it is doing that, then we can close this. So it's shown as an unidentified network. That's fine. We'll close here. And then what we'll do is we'll just verify that we're talking to this particular wireless access point, having set it to 192.168.5.27. So let's change this IP address to 5.27. And then when we click on WAP Communication Check, we should get a response back to say that it has been set. And we do. So we know that this new WAP IP has been set and we are good to go. One more thing that we need to do here, and that is we need to tell the wireless access point which host IP it needs to talk to. This is the host PC where you are running WebLink. So we want to change that to 5.100, and the host port is fine as the default unless of course your network administrators change that. So we click on Set Host Info and we get a successful result. This WAP is now configured to be able to be added to the system. So we'll do that in the next step. In many cases, your wireless access point will come to you already pre-configured. But if you need to configure it, you now know how to do that using WAP Set. So, let's go and add it to the WebLink software. So we click on WAP Manage. And this shows a list of all of the wireless access points that we currently have in the system. I'm going to go ahead and add this new one with the new IP address. So click on New. Now we'll input a WAP name. Put in a descriptive name that you'll remember. So I'm going to call this WAP JB2. Now I need to enter the IP address. And this is the IP address that we just set on this wireless access point. So that's 192.168.5.27. The subnet mask needs to be added, and the gateway. All right. Now, I can add this to a group. And I need to do that in order to ensure that it has the correct time zone settings. So I click on the magnifying glass, and I'm going to set this in Western region. With all of this information set, I can now say Save, and that WAP has been added to the system and is ready to receive locks that will communicate through it. But in order to verify that, I wanted to once again go to Get Version, and it pulls back this information to say that I am communicating correctly back to the software, so we're good to go. That's how you set up a WAP in the WebLink remote management system.